Hi everyone, getting right into the stock market action. The Nasdaq on Tuesday had a fantastic session, rallying on not above average volume, but on volume higher than the day before. 36.84 was the close, and as you know, that is inches away from the highs of 36.92. So as we continue to consolidate these gains here, we're seeing some excellent volume on the upside compared to volume on the downside, and it just looks absolutely fabulous, especially with another intraday reversal today being more powerful than the ones before. Russell 2000 only down 0.16% today. It's funny how day to day the Russell and Nasdaq trade leadership, which is pretty awesome to see in this rally. However, the S&P 500 looks just as strong. As you can see, another intraday reversal. The New York Stock Exchange shows it the best over the last 4 days, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average is keeping up along the way. Not as strong as the other indexes, but I don't want to see this index leading anyway, and I love to see that bright white line down here leading the way down while the NASDAQ line leads the way up. That is absolutely perfect, and it's been a great July to August, and it should continue, but nothing's guaranteed. If we do reverse on heavy volume, I'll start putting on my hedges and cutting losses immediately. I won't stand by for, and be like, hey, we'll definitely bounce here. No, I'm gonna move with price. I'm too old for that crap. I'm 34 years old. I've been doing this since about the age of 15, 16. I started making my first trades, so I've had enough years, half my lifetime, to try to even think that I know what the market's going to do tomorrow, so I'm ready for everything. But everything looks good. And on that note, we have 3 new longs again tonight. QCore is a new long because I know this company really well thanks to a subscriber who happened to straddle QCore ahead of earnings a few days before earnings and made a small fortune on it. He knows his company inside out, and I understand the fundamentals, and I see the growth myself. And when I combine that with his knowledge of the company, I have no problem buying this new high on lower volume, only because, as you can see, it's a biotech stock, and if you look at the earnings and sales growth, it's absolutely huge, dominate their market share, and the growth is just expected to continue. $80, $90, $100. If we're in a real bull market here, this stock's going to hit it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this breakout. And then speaking of stuff like that, you see CGG, you see the huge accumulation. If you go look at the earnings and sales growth, you can see that they're very, very good to decently great. But the upcoming earnings estimates for the rest of the quarters this year and for 2014 are fantastic. And even though this is a thin stock, once again, I'll shoot back to what I just said. If this is part of a real bull market move that's going to last, let's say, throughout the rest of the year, CGG should have a lot more upside left in it. QCore, while it's going to be 2% in both the risk and non-risk account, CGG is just going to be 2% in the risk account. It's too thin to go in my non-risk account, but its fundamentals are definitely good enough to go in there. It's just the thinness that's going to keep it out. And MELI is creating breakout move here on heavier volume. Relative strength line is hitting new relative strength line highs, and that's matching up beautifully with the price at 129.27, and with the price actually being lower than where it was at its most recent high close, 129.87. That is positive divergence in the relative strength line, and you always like to see that. So Melly's got a great breakout. And then also Lock has given us add signal today. Lock is giving a pocket pivot point buy signal off the 10-day moving average. You can see the intraday action since the buyable gap up. And it was a buyable gap up, as you can see here, because you can see that it's basing out right. You can see the base. You can basically see a big giant cup with handle pattern here. Okay, so now you have this handle with lower volume, and it's in a base. It didn't break out before, whatever. Here you have a gap up. You can see volume was huge in the early morning hours. Volume was extremely, extremely, extremely large, well above the 50-day moving average, almost 2 times the size of the 50-day moving average in the morning. And since then, it has reacted perfectly. Now we have a pocket pivot point buy signal. So just like on QCore, it is a go. Just like on Melly, it is a go. What isn't a go though, VIPS, since it has earnings after the bell on Wednesday, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of 20% of it just because this is erratic action right before earnings. I would like to see VIPS either pull back ahead of earnings on lower volume over a period of days and or just done nothing today. But the move lower on that big a volume, even if it gaps up by 25%, I'd rather go ahead and get out 20% of it here just in case it does gap down below the 50-day moving average and leaves me with a loss after the bell tomorrow, because it just doesn't seem worth it with that kind of movement there. And then also a recent long SMI, there is technically nothing wrong with it. You can see up close it's closing above the 50-day moving average, closed at the high a day today. It's at the 391 close is still above the 390 low a day, so it's good. But with the 391 close, it's below 395, so that's going to be a 50% sell. However, it's still technically above the 50-day moving average. It had a bullish intraday reversal day, close at the high day, and is also above the 20-day moving average. So I'm going to go ahead and make this just a 25% sell. However, I'm no matter what going to want to see SMI up tomorrow, and it should reverse based on the intraday reversal, high day close on above average volume with the tight trading action lately. It should bounce tomorrow. If it doesn't, we're out. SMI is gone. Also on top of that, ENV, my buy stop is going to be set tonight. So you can see the red line going across. If ENV is above that line at some point tomorrow, you can be sure I am long. Also CTRX, you can see the line right there. This stock has a 99 earnings per share rating. Take a look at its earnings and sales growth. This is a buyable gap up also, and instead of waiting for CTRX, because I'm kind of afraid that whenever it does run, it's going to blow right past that resistance line. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up there. But other stocks that are looking good, HBI, you can see my line there. CEC, that will eventually get one. EGAN, boy, I think I'm going to regret not setting one, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. And BET, you can see how I'm regretting not setting one there. And actually not taking the long signal yesterday because it closed too far from its high of day. As you can see here, it's 20 cents away from its high day. That was way too much for me. Good God, why would I want to go a stock that looks good like this in an uptrending market? Whoops. So still, you know, lessons to learn, but a lot of nice stocks out there. So keep your eyes out. You got WFT breaking out, just had low, poor fundamentals, so that's why that's not new long. You have BBW breaking out, once again, poor fundamentals, that's why that's not long. And IEP is breaking out, once again, fundamentals not that great, and it seems to be more of a play on Carl Icahn, who definitely knows how to make stocks move. Quite impressive following his tweet today. All right, everyone, have a great Wednesday.